You don't wanna see me with no limits. Rise to another level, dream to the finish with a team, independent, yeah. We moving like a steamroller, really, we extreme with it, feel me kinda mean with it, better duck. Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? The rise will be televised. Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? The rise will be televised. Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? Are you ready for the rise? The rise will be televised.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the FNCS. This is it, day number 3 of the semifinals. Today, we'll be watching 3 rounds in the upper bracket, and then, after a short break, 3 rounds in the lower bracket. Duos are trying to fill these remaining seats on the battle bus to next week's grand finals. All on the line here today and more on today's FNCS. Please give a big welcome to Kelly and Vivid, your analysts, as we begin to break down what we're going to be watching today. My friends, day 3 of the semifinals. And in case you can't tell, my stress has not gone down. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, so around here, guys, Zeke does stay stressed, and for good reason. Guys, I can't believe over the last 2 days, we played a total of 10 games, had 10 teams qualify for grand finals. And then today, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Kelly, we're playing 6 games, and we're going to have 40 teams qualify. At the end of the day, our grand finals will be set. I'm excited.
That's right. The top 25 in the upper bracket are going to go through, and then the bottom 25 will join the bottom 25 of the upper bracket yesterday for 3 more games. And from there, it will only be the top 15 teams. It is all about placement and consistency today, and they definitely want to make it into the grand finals, of course, for the bragging rights, of course, for the money. But Zeke, that's where the ticket is to the global championships.
That's right, and you know that's what people want, right? These players, they want to make sure they secure seats on the bus going to globals. And Acts of Champions is amazing, going to global championships and representing there and walking away, Cooper and Miro. I mean, that would be wild. Now, why don't we talk about some of the duos we're seeing here compete today? We wanted to kind of start things off with Paco and Mixon. We've watched them perform over the last couple of days. And a funny story about these guys is they've said they're quote unquote on vacation in the States. They're here from EU looking to compete in NA. And guys, I want to see these guys qualify, because vacation or not, the fact that they're here, if they don't make it to grand finals, that would just be a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, making the bold decision, right, to move regions, move in, all the way across the world, and then be kind of in this situation where today is the last chance to actually qualify for grand finals. I mean, this is the whole reason you came over to NA. Surely you wanted to qualify for grand finals, and gosh, a lot of pressure on them, Kelly.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure going to be happening over in Lovely Lodge, where they are going to be contested, and they've been there the entire time for Major 2, and they really started things off with a bang, getting first place in Qualifier 1, Round 1, and then they've been pretty consistent since then.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess like the cool thing there, Zeke, is that they're going to be contested today. And we did see them, compete in the last 2 upper bracket sessions. But in one of those sessions, they were...
Or a little bit of a crack there.
Sphinx is all the way on the other side as well, so a lot of focus there on the idea of trying to find damage right now. Rift Island's going to go ahead and appear here. Aviv and Chubbs are going to be the first to secure the location. Surprisingly, though, no other teams rush the Rift Island, so they're just going to get the capture point for free, uncontested, and honestly, they need the brick as well, so great find for them. This should be likely an excellent game for Aviv and Chubbs here, but looks an epic whale. Seems like so far they've really had a problem trying to find their surge, and they're forced into an early game engagement. And the fact that they're fighting like this, so aggressively pushing in with this, what I'd look to see is a pretty bad loadout, is telling us that they haven't gotten to a good fight yet. And they recognize, even before any warning come out, that they need damage, they need eliminations.
It also looks like they weren't successful with a weapons bunker in this game either.
Yeah.
Based on this loot. M-Pen, though, could be in even more dire circumstances than Clix and Epic. That HP falling incredibly low, and again, as you already pointed out, Epic and Clix, they are playing dummy aggressive right now. Like, they want a refresh, but they really just want the damage. They're clearly also hoping that if they're able to eliminate a duo or a solo even, that the loot off the body would maybe give them some slight upgrades here, because a great Thunderburst is not the position you want to be in, departing from the mid-game towards the late.
This is smart. The early rotate, when they knew NPen and Pump were already hurt, they just left them there in a storm and then cut them off. NPen and Pump, though, also smart. No better than to go straight to the zone. That'd be a dead giveaway. And they're going to wrap around kind of the way that Clix and them went, and they might actually jump on this train that's passing by. That'd be so genius. Hope they catch it.
They have actually jumped on top of it.
It's good. It works out. All right, let's go. We need a shot. We need a shot of NPen taking a ride right now. He's gone. Look, Clix knows. Look, they're like, they gotta be on this train. Like, where else are they? Yup. Get on it. Come on. Okay.
I'm surprised that they didn't opt to just join the battle onto the train, but maybe just felt like they're too exposed.
Yeah, no, that'd be crazy. You can't build on it, right? Like, all your builds get destroyed.
Well, they're also back into the storm. Granted, they are waiting out at this point for the capture of the train. They want the resources. They could definitely use a good refresh on shield, and that's something that the train can definitely be excellent at providing. But the further they go, MDF, they're gonna have to eventually track back.
I don't know how I feel about this anymore. This is a long ride here. Jump off, brother. Go.
Some weapon upgrades. Not sure this is worth it at this point.
Look at the map. Look at the map. They're in the top left.
Oh, they might just choose to wait for it to loop back.
They're gonna go all the way around. Yeah, they're just gonna ride the train back into the city. All right, this is great.
Storm sickness could be a problem for them later on, though.
This is great. Oh, I think they realize, hey, look, the train is probably too slow. We gotta go now. We're gonna take the foot route, the scenic route. All right, well, while Pump and NPen were keeping us entertained, more fights are going on around the world. Take a look at this. Yep, Thoric getting his hands dirty here. Game 7 School on top of it right now. Goes from the high ground down. It's onto Mega and uses the quick finish here. And that's going to put them right back into the game. Big eliminations, big points, big material. And then you have Clix and Epic Whale. They couldn't find NPen and company, so they find another team in the storm, and this is great for them right now, as they absolutely needed this damage here. Look at how they went from -70 to well above 200 on the surge. That's okay for now, but they will for sure want to finish a second player if possible.
Clix also definitely needed a big refresh on his resources in general, taking full advantage of everything that was just dropped. Aoxy tried to do what he could at the end, but just too much pressure being applied from Clix and Epic. It's about what you'd expect, though, from a desperate play. Desperate times call for desperate measures, man. And in the case of Clix and Epic, you already know the Clixers are going to be very happy to see them walk away from that one.
Big fan of what we've been seeing out of Kanata and Cooper so far. The consistency is one to admire. All about the surge as well. They just seem to have everything on lock right now. They're finding their tags. They're making their way to endgame. It's like they're playing a completely different game. Because even when you weigh their performances across other very notable, very, very excellent duos, they're just apparently better, more consistent. Their entire strategy, rock solid. Speaking about those types of duos, hinting at Dukes and Miro's underperformance, but right now they are flying quite literally. 6 eliminations, much earlier than we've seen before, and this is the pop-off game they've been looking for. Oh my gosh.
The chains of Hades players, though, man. Merciless so far, but Dukes is just better, man. That's really all it comes down to. Massive moment there. Granted, Dukes and Miro were already looking pretty set as far as qualifying to grand finals off of the points they were able to establish in game 1. They were second on the leaderboard after all, but hey, why not just remind everybody exactly who you are on NA, because Dukes and Miro is certainly two of NA's finest as far as competition is concerned, and they are proving it here today.
Epic Oil and Clicks not content with their current situation, their material status, trying to force another fight here. And I do mean force. They are literally picking players of full box builds. They don't care. They're trying to see what's available to them right now and get how much it costs them. A lot of HP, a lot of shields here coming out the zone. Down to the wire. Here we have a comeback in Convict right now. 3 elims so far, not bad. Zone's right in front of them as well.
Seems like Chronic's just waiting for a team to come running out from under the bridge. Given that a lot of congestion is definitely starting to pool up in the higher side of the bridge, but good light up in the sky. No rotation is safe at this point. And now, come back in Convict. Gonna catapult themselves a little bit further, make sure they kind of hover more towards that front side of the zone. And just looking back constantly, wanting to ensure that they're kind of controlling how the lobby actually is able to rotate.
4 elims now. They get that refresh they were looking for. I'd say it was worth it. Look at the material count now. Clicks and Epic Whale sitting very comfortably. However, they do not have that much damage. Even with all the action we've seen them take and fight and play through, they've just found eliminations clean outright. They haven't really tagged players. They haven't really been able to get situated and start, you know, to take the lead, if you will, on the surge thresholds. But luckily, this lobby's cutting down pretty quickly here now. It's not going to be a problem for the time being. Bryson Bolt's on the move right now. Fullberry Fizz keeping them on a quick rotate here. They're in position on the side of the mountain. Not quite safe just yet, but no one is.
It's just wild to see how these players have managed to adapt throughout the course of this weekend, trying to familiarize themselves with that low mobility that has certainly come into play, because if you don't have Flurberry Fizz or Bananas, Dukes, Chains of Hades, Junior was getting a lot of pop-offs earlier on, but Dukes just adding to the count at this point, rounding them up, it seems like.
He's figured it out, man. This Chains of Hades right here. Look, no shield, no health, nothing to work with. So, you know what? Let's just get a refresh, man. Let's do it. Ooh, Miro destroyed his shield right there. Getting greedy with the rotate. Sort of forced down a mech here from Dukes here. Dukes gonna have to take the lead on the rotate right now. More greed as they cut across, trying to not build it all here. Has to be careful. We haven't seen Dukes look up for high ground, so not sure if anyone's situated just yet, but he's so focused on getting to the front side. Excellently done there. Stay positioned up. And it's Cease and Jack who might have the highest opportunity for height, but no, Decay and Sigma waste no time securing high ground there. The hesitation set in the lobby, and they just jumped up for it.
Everybody kind of just making that note. A little subtle one in the back of their minds. Kanata, another player, is always going to be adamant about who's on height when, because you know that Kanata and Cooper are just waiting for their opportunity to strike. They're trying to maintain the secondary height layer. They're not really in any sort of rush in comparison to a lot of these other players who are just barely above that damage threshold. Might be a little bit more in a panic situation in terms of staying ahead of the zone, trying to get better positioning so they can tag players coming in from behind. Chimp and Scissor looks like they've caught wind of Threats and Sphinx on the rotate. Likely only a matter of time before they start to apply some pressure. And now Kanata, Cooper.
Break this.
They don't care about breaking it though. They're just gonna stay directly underneath. Kanata still not gauging that the time is right just yet, but Threats and Sphinx have worked their way up now to the mid ground. Still room though for Kanata and Cooper to operate in.
Mira still alive as well, taking the front side of the rotate here. Duke swings around the back, and there was a player on his edge there, clips him. 9 eliminations for Dukes and Mira. The last 2 games, they have started to really turn online here. Taking a monstrous lead as far as eliminations are concerned to the rest of the lobby. It hasn't come without its troubles. Their early game still needs a lot of work if they want to perform well towards finals. Sphinx and Threats get taken on the mid-ground, so things didn't go their way. Meanwhile, Clicks and Epic Whale at the front side of zone here. 4 Elims making up for that shortcoming last game, that top 15 performance here. Already trending their way up towards the top 10 potentially here as Dukes and Miro keep ripping through the mid-ground of this lobby here. Almost out of mats, though. Forced to get into another fight, and they're just continuing the press here. Why not? They're healthy.
Yeah, Convict and Comeback, they were just trying to take a second after eliminating Threats and Sphinx, but Dukes and Miro, it is all gas currently, just continuously pressing forward. Clicks and Epic tried to work up from the low ground, but they're going to be stuck now, forced to play the back of zone. Epic doesn't really have any shield to work with. And now, Comeback, Convict, still trying to hold it down. Only a little bit more Flowberry Fizz left to go, but Dukes has finally lost Miro in the process, as well as all of his builds. He's gonna have to try and play a little bit more isolated, but it's not gonna be enough. Gets lit up the moment that he tries to drop the low. That'll be the end of his run in lobby number 2, but a lot of points accrued so far as Clicks. Beautiful piece up there. Chronic gonna get shut down, but Clicks, no, he can't get away with the loot. It's Cooper and Kanata who take him out.
Doesn't matter. Epic will just shut down everyone in that engagement. He's gonna get so many points here inside the top 10. Clearly just better, but not before Kanata and Cooper send him back to the lobby. You've done well, son. But Kanata and Cooper are here to try to finish the job. We already knew Sigma gave up the high ground. They started to run out of material. They committed so much to try to secure the dominating angle. However, how far did that get him? Yeah, just 10 HP in a dream at this point. He is going to be forced down. This should be all she wrote for Cooper and Kanata. And they close things out, and they finally secure a win this weekend.
Yeah, as already touched on in first match, I mean, these guys had 6 top 5s throughout the course of day 1 and 2 upper bracket. Here today in number 3, they find their Victor Royale monster. It's basically they were already locked in for the grand finals, but this is really just the cherry on top.
You know, it was just about time. It was a matter of time, but it kind of shows you what happens